Hi, and welcome back to your weekly Oracle reading with Katie VanZeeland. This reading is for the week of May 11th through May 17th, 2015. And this week we're using Doreen Virtue's Healing with the Fairies Oracle deck. So we have cleared the deck and we're asking for God and the angels to really any messages for us this week to stay focused and in tune to our higher selves, purpose-driven life. Asking for any awareness, tuning into love. Yay, hold on. So we have two cards. Wow, powerful. And the two cards are Stand Your Ground. And I'm going to show these cards because it feels very important. Stand Your Ground. And then the other one is Inner Power. And I don't know if you could see the two cards, but it's pretty cool to me that they feel so different, yet it feels like almost the same message. So we're talking a little bit about duality here, it feels like. So we have Stand Your Ground, and the picture on here seems a little dark and kind of powerful, but in a darker way, kind of in a solid way, if you look at her. Stand your ground. And that's going to be very important as we go throughout the week and really throughout life, but we'll talk about just this week. There might be things happening in your life where you really need to stand your ground, things that you've already either made decisions on or those decisions are coming to fruition for you, but you need to use your inner power, which is the other card, and I'm going to tie them together as I speak because I feel like they're so tied together. Tuning into that inner power, your inner knowledge, your inner strength, and stand your ground. And when we look at the inner power card, it's very light, and it looks very light and sparkly and just more angelic. And so as you're tuning into, yeah, she's even holding stars and there's sparkles everywhere. Inner power doesn't have to be this heavy, dark thing that you're coming from or place that you're coming from. Now, it's good to know that we have both sides of ourselves and we need both sides. When we have to sometimes use a little more force or be a little more firm, that's not a bad thing. It's being assertive and using discernment. Those are things that we have to get used to as light workers, as these beautiful spiritual people. It's not just always being sweet, and you can be sweet and assertive at the same time. We are learning to come into our assertiveness, come into our inner power, our inner strength. And sometimes that's going to feel a little awkward for some of us because we're used to sharing just the light and being the light. And we're going to continue to be the light. But in order to really allow that light to manifest and to come into fruition the way it's meant to on such a deep level, we are going to have to learn how to stand in our own power, to use our inner strength, our inner power, and to stand our ground. And you're going to have moments where it feels a little heavier, a little more assertive. And then you're going to have moments where it feels a little sparklier, a little lighter, more filled with love. But what the fairies are showing us is that we can do both at the same time. The more we're integrating our energy, the more we can integrate those two sides, and we can be assertive in a loving, beautiful way. We can use our inner power in a very loving, assertive, way. It doesn't have to be one extreme or the other. We don't have to be walked all over and just continually bending over backwards for people or situations or compromising what we really want because it's the nice thing to do. That's not helping anybody. We need to learn how to stand in our own power. And then we don't have to go to the other extreme in order to set boundaries either. What happens is we get overwhelmed and frustrated when we're constantly bending over backwards, but we're not honoring what we really want or need. But we're doing it for the other people, and we're being a good person. Well, all those things end up doing is giving you a sense of anger, of a martyrism, of feeling like, look at all that I'm doing and no one's giving back to me. You have to give back to you. You have to stand your ground. And we don't have to, going back to the extremes, bend over backwards versus, say, be mean about it or angry about it. We have not learned the in-between place. And it is about balance and knowing that we are not all or nothing. We are all of it together, and we're learning to integrate that. So this week, just be really aware of your inner power and practice sharing that inner power, standing your ground for things that you know you need to be standing your ground in a loving, assertive way, and really discern what those things are that you need to stand in your power with and to stand your ground with. We don't need to do things out of our ego where I'm not going to bend over backwards because of X, Y, and Z. That's a little different than, no, this is how I feel, and just because that upsets somebody else, well, I'm sorry, but this is what I need to do for me. So practice with that. Play with that energy this week. There is a difference. It's not all or nothing. You can come from a place of love as you are standing in your power, standing your ground, and digging into your inner power and strength. It's a beautiful thing, and it's a process, and we're learning, and we're going to continue to cultivate and integrate all of these beautiful aspects of ourselves and see that there's no one way to do it, but there's a way to integrate all of it together, and it'll feel so much more peaceful inside yourself as you do these things, because you're going to be honoring and respecting yourself above everything, which ultimately is going to love and respect everyone and everything, God, the universe, our creator. So be aware of that this week and play with that. I think I am going to pull one more card from the Four Agreements deck and just see what that message is. So just asking if there's any other messages to be aware of this week. And it says, don't take anything personally. Your truth is personal to you. And that's just perfect with what we're talking about. As we are in our inner power and standing our ground, our truth is personal to us. A lot of times we get caught up in justifying it to other people or explaining why we feel a certain way. And all that's doing is taking you away from your truth. And it's personal to you. And let's start trusting that and getting confident in ourselves enough to settle into our inner power and know that our truth is personal to us and it's perfect. We don't need to justify. We don't need to explain it. We just need to know it and live it and be it and enjoy it. And share the love. So, and I'll just read the back. It says, your own opinions and point of view reflect your own agreements and are personal to you. It is no one's truth but yours. And that's all that matters. So remember that this week. That is all that matters. That your truth is personal to you. Step into your inner power. Believe in yourself. Feel it. Play with it. Enjoy it. Stand your ground in a loving, assertive way. And have fun with it. And I hope to see you next week. And I'm excited to hear how your weeks go. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.